Hi everybody, and welcome back to Fairytale Family. This is a continuation of our wedding series that we're doing, the 3 episodes. So last week we talked about the planning of our Disney wedding, and this week we're gonna actually talk about the whole wedding week and the wedding experience. So to recap, we got married at Walt Disney World at the Yacht Club, with our reception at the Atlantic Dance Hall on the boardwalk, and this was in June of 2017. We had roughly 125 guests. We had about 12 in our wedding party, including us, and the planning process was very smooth. So I think now we're just going to get into what wedding week was like. So our wedding party, the people that were in the wedding, the grandparents and the parents and all that, we were all staying at the beach club. All of our guests stayed on Disney property or very close to Disney property and made a vacation out of it. So we got there about 3 days before the wedding. Mostly everybody else did. And I just remember the days leading up to the wedding were basically nonstop parties. That's basically what happened. We would run into people at the parks.
That was a really cool thing.
Yeah, we had set up, I don't want to say an itinerary for the wedding party, but it was basically an itinerary where we did a lot of activities together. We did group photos on the rides, which was really fun. At all the different resorts, we went to late night hours. We would go to Disney Springs, and then there were certain times where we had like time away from the wedding party and just the two of us. 2 nights before the wedding, we did do what we call a girls' night and a guys' night.
Yep.
So it's like a part 2 to the bachelorette and bachelor party. The girls started at Trader Sam's at the Polynesian having drinks, and then a group of us went and did the Around the World Challenge. And that was very interesting, and most all of us survived through the whole thing.
Are you saying you lost people?
Well, people left. Like, my mom left after the first country. Your mom left, I think, after the 4th or 5th country.
Yeah.
Your sister left after the 5th country. And then it was my other bridesmaids, except for your sister, myself, and then your cousin's wife met up with you guys.
Yeah.
But you guys actually started at Shula's at the Dolphin.
Yeah. What did we do?
At the bar.
At the bar?
Yeah, you guys were at Shula's.
I was at the bar at Shula's?
Or you were at Shula's.
Yeah, I don't think I was at the bar. I went with, who was it? You, your dad, Dave, and
Connor.
I think Connor.
John, maybe?
No, I don't think the guys were there. It was just 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we ate there, and then we had people meet at, I don't know, above the, it's like right off of like the boardwalk, like that.
Yeah.
Like you have the main entrance, and then if you walk through the main entrance and take a right, and then you walk down that hallway, and then you look to your left, and there's a bar there, and there's like tables and things like that for
games. Yeah,
for like chess or any other type of game that you would want to play. And so yeah, we just played board games and just
drank.
Made it easy. Yeah. Took it easy.
And I remember us getting a text from one of the girls that had left us and said, hey, literally everybody, meaning guests and everything, are at this bar at the boardwalk.
Everyone just started like
showing up.
Yeah.
So then we showed up, and we were all together at this bar at the boardwalk right off of the main lobby. And I remember the kids playing games, and I remember there was more drinking, and I just remember it was really, really happy that everybody was together. And then at one point, people branched off, and the great-grandparents and my parents went to Joe's Margaritas on the boardwalk. The wedding party went to the pool at the beach club. So that was 2 nights before the wedding, and then the night before the wedding was obviously the rehearsal dinner. And we had picked the Living Seas as our rehearsal. We didn't do a dinner, we did a dessert party with apps, and then followed by Illumination's private viewing. Mm-hmm. And I remember the rehearsal itself going really smooth. Maxine did a great job, made sure everybody knew everything. My uncle David, who you guys have seen in a couple videos, he was our officiant, so she went through everything with him, made sure he was okay. we worked out any kinks, and then she had these private vans take us all through the back of Epcot, which was really cool to see. We drove like behind the countries and everything, and pulled right up to the living seas. And
we saw the building of the Ratatouille thing or something, right? Yeah.
And we had our rehearsal dessert party and snacks there, and I think everybody really enjoyed that. It was really cool because we had the the glass with the fishes and the dolphins and the turtles.
Yeah.
We actually had a grand piano. My brother plays piano, so he got to play for everybody. And the desserts were really good, and the snacks were really good, and we had drinks. And then I remember we all had a walk.
That's fine. Yeah, keep going.
To private viewing at England for Illuminations, and that was really fun too. So we got to watch the fireworks, and then Greg and I split for the night, and we didn't see each other again until the wedding.
Yep.
So the next morning, the girls all met, because hair and makeup started at like 10 o'clock. The wedding was at 4:30 or 4.
I think it was 4:30.
Yeah, and so everything started at 10 o'clock. We all got there for 9, and I had arranged for my girls to have a buffet breakfast. So it was Mickey waffles and eggs and fruit, and we had mimosas. So there were 2 different types of mimosas. There was their traditional orange, and then there was a pomegranate juice and coffee. And so we all had breakfast, and then the hair and makeup lady came and just went for it. Just we all rotated in and out. We had a schedule, and by the time everybody was done, the photographer showed up and the picture started, and the video people were there. And I don't even think in all of this seeing the wedding people and identifying them, because I thought they were just part of the camera crew, like the photography crew, Jacob's crew, but I just don't remember seeing the video people.
Oh yeah.
They were like super secret agents. They were there, but we didn't know they were there.
It was hard. Yeah, it was hard to notice.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And then I don't know what you guys did, because I
honestly don't remember. We were probably just slumming it in the. But we definitely didn't have mimosas and things like that. You cheaped out on us. Yeah, I honestly do not remember that at all. I just remember getting ready. And getting stuff for the film, or like the movie that they were basically making for us. And the fact that we were already like dressed, and like, oh, they showed up like late. Not late, but I think we just got so early, like ready so early. So when they showed up, they're like, oh, can you like redo yourself getting dressed and like, putting on the tie and things like that. So we kind of had to. I don't know if you noticed that, but like when John does it with the bow tie,
it's pretty funny.
Like we're already there, and then he's just like goofing around with it, and then it made it look like he was putting it on me or something. But
while the guests are all arriving and everything, we're getting our photos done. So they did the photos. They did a lot of photos before the wedding. So they did all of your bridal party photos. They did your parents' photos, and then it was less chaos afterwards, after the wedding, which was nice. So then, all the photos are done. They line everybody up, and Greg's people go in, and then I go in. And I just remember the wedding not feeling very long. I think Dave did a great job of keeping it short and lighthearted, and it was just a very nice, quick ceremony. Yeah. And they lined everybody up out in the hallway at the yacht club, because as Greg had mentioned in the previous video, it rained, and we ended up moving it indoors. Still great. And they did bubbles in the hallway, and we had to walk. I remember walking through the aisle of bubbles back and forth and getting pictures, and I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, that was super fun. That was a great picture too.
They did photos of just Greg and I, like in this little nook at the yacht club, and that was kind of fun, and we actually got to talk and see each other, which we hadn't in 24 hours just about.
A little bit less than that. It was like 16. But yeah.
And then they did another round of wedding party photos. Not a lot, just a couple. And then we went over to the Atlantic Dance Hall, and Greg and I kind of had our own cocktail hour on the first floor. Everybody was on the second floor, and we
Yeah,
came in on the first. And I remember Maxine doing what she had to do to lift my dress so I wasn't tripping on the dance floor. And she gave us food, and she's like, eat, have your drinks, and then go up and socialize. She's like, because once you get up there, you're not going to want to eat. So she really did a great job of making sure.
Not that you're not going to want to eat. You're not going to be able
to eat.
Yeah.
And so she did a great job of just making sure that we were fed and we were good before we went upstairs. So we went up there and we socialized with everybody, which was really fun. And then they said, if you're not in the wedding party, get your asses downstairs.
Yeah.
So they all went downstairs to their tables, and we got lined up for the entrance. And we had the entrance, and we did our dance. They did their speeches.
Yep.
And then we did our father-daughter, son, mother dances.
Yep.
And then the dance floor started, and Jacob took you and I outside once it got dark and did some photos, just the two of us on the boardwalk, which came out beautiful because it stopped raining at that point. And I think just the fact that there was rain on the boardwalk too kind of made the pictures
added like a little sheen to it.
Yeah. So we had that.
Balance.
And then, we had the food and the cake cutting, all your traditional wedding stuff. We had dessert. And then the post-dessert, which was right before the fireworks, we arranged a churro station.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a huge hit. It was churros, and you had your choice of caramel or chocolate dipping sauce.
I just remember being bummed that I could only get one.
Yeah.
Because that was the only time that I had. Because I had like wolf it down too, because everyone's just coming up to you and
dancing and talking and
I wish I had more though.
Yeah.
I should have just grabbed like a whole bag, and then on our way, like as we were leaving,
Yeah.
I should have grabbed a whole bunch.
So the churro station was a big hit. I remember people really liking that. And then the fireworks started at 9 o'clock, and I think at like 8:45 the DJ made the announcement, if you want to go out on the back deck and watch the fireworks, you guys are welcome to. And Maxine had me and my girls go up to the top floor with Jacob, and we got some cool photos of the whole, fireworks with us, which was good. And then, the wedding wrapped up, and Greg and I walked back to our hotel room, and everybody went back to their place. And then we actually had to get up, I remember, very early in the morning.
Yep.
Redo our hair and makeup, because Disney provides you with post-wedding photos of just the two of you.
In one specific park.
Yes, so you get to pick from one park or the boardwalk. And we went with Hollywood Studios, and we basically got a backstage tour of Hollywood Studios while Toy Story Land was being built and Galaxy's Edge. So we actually saw both of those in construction.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge was nothing. It was just like a wasteland.
And a couple
like Tatooine.
with some big building structures that were being built. But we saw all of that being constructed. We saw the Slinky Dog coaster.
Yep.
Like parts of that up there, and that was really cool. And we were very fortunate to be one of the, actually I think we were the last couple to get our pictures in the original Great Movie Ride at the Chinese Theater. So we had all of our photos, and our photographer Jacob, who did our wedding and our post photos, was so amazing. He was absolutely the best photographer for us.
Very
and our wedding party, and he got along great with everybody, and he just knew how we wanted our photo. Like, he was just very good about getting us the right type of photos. And so we did some serious photos and formal photos throughout Hollywood Studios, but then we did some fun ones. And one of them actually won him best wedding photo, within Disney.
Yeah.
I think it was
pretty big deal.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 months later when we went down to do our wedding album.
Yeah.
So
because it kind of blew up on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah,
people were saying you look like Leia. And
yeah, they posted it on Facebook and said, this.
You should try to find that.
Yeah, and people were saying that I had the I had the Leia profile, and that was just a very cool photo.
That was Chewbacca.
Yeah. But all in all, the whole wedding experience, weddings go by so fast, but I can honestly say there's nothing negative that I took away from that. And there was no stress, even with the switch at the venue at the last second. And they waited for my okay on that too. Like, it was 2 hours before, and Maxine said, you have to give me the formal okay. And I said, go do what you have to do. Like,
yeah.
That's all I had to say. And she had everything under control, and everything was perfect. And,
do you remember that one, I guess it would be the one bad experience. It wasn't even that bad, it was just like off-putting. Do you remember? So what did they do? Did they bus us over to the boardwalk or something, and then we walked the rest of the way?
Yeah.
So we got off the bus. First of all, it was kind of cool because they had, they have like those electronic signs,
yeah,
and it had our name on it, like, congratulations, Brittany and Greg, da da da.
In the boardwalk lobby.
In the boardwalk lobby, and I believe everywhere. I don't, like, within that property, I guess. But do you remember the guy that came up to us and he goes, oh, congratulations. And I was like, oh, naturally, all the cast members, whatever, were saying that stuff. But it was just like something unique about this guy. Do you not remember this?
No.
And then he's like, you guys must be well off or something. And I was like, are you, like, how did your parents pay for this? I was like, oh, we paid for this. And then he's like, oh, it must be nice, or something like that.
Yeah, it was the only weird.
Do you remember that?
I remember it now that you're talking about it.
Yeah, and I was just like, dude, I had to work. I was working, like, so, like, while you were planning, I'm not saying that you weren't working at the same time.
I was.
But I was doing, like, 80-hour work weeks or something.
Greg was working a lot of OT, so we could pay for the wedding.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Yeah, so that was, like, the only...
drawback.
It wasn't even a drawback. It was just, like, weird. Like, I wouldn't expect that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just odd.
But it was a great week. I just remember everybody having a good time and having fun, and just the whole process being stress-free and fun.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
really not a lot of bad things to say when we're reviewing our wedding, because we don't remember anything bad, and we just remember the good stuff. And
yeah. I remember people crying and...
yeah. A lot of people crying.
Very intoxicated people. My friend getting turned away because he was acting too weird.
Yeah.
From the bar.
My maid of honor, I remember, like, halfway through the night, I thought that I was drinking the same drink, but I had actually had 4 of my rainbow Skittles or whatever. And I went up to Maxine and I said, how many of these have I had? Because she was just refreshing our drinks for us, making sure that we had water, and then she would make sure we had champagne at the toast, and then she always made sure that our liquor glass was full. And she's like, I think you're on like 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, my free drinks go to my maid of honor over there. One of my maid of honors. I'm like, it goes to her. I said, I really can't drink anymore. And so, because I didn't want to be overly drunk, I didn't want to be blackout drunk, but I just remember at the end of the night, Kelly being very intoxicated, air guitaring and dancing, and I was like, she's having a good time.
You know, one little thing that I would think of is, like, maybe, I don't know if they do it at Disney, but one thing that I think would be cool is if they gave you, like, a $50 gift card or something for us, because we had, like, the honeymoon suite or something, right?
Yeah.
But then, obviously, like I said, we didn't eat very much because we were just, trying to talk to people, dancing with people, like, all these different things. So eating wasn't even, like, a thing that we could really do. I think I had half of what I had, and I didn't get very much.
Yeah.
Like I said, I only had 1 churro. That is a travesty in itself. But we ordered room service after. And so it was like I feel like that's just like a necessity. Like you are going to be starving afterwards.
Yeah.
Unless you somehow get really lucky and every one of your guests is like actually gives you the time to eat.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
It's
for
understandable.
us.
I'm not blaming them or anything.
Yeah. I think that's why, too, like, Maxine was insistent before we went up to cocktail hour. She sat us down with food, with water, and said, eat and drink this now. Like, make sure you have something in your stomach. Because she knew it was going to happen. Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is it would be nice if they threw in, like, even just like a $50 gift card or something to get yourself room service afterwards. Yeah. Because, we got back, we're all amped up from the adrenaline of everything that was just going on.
Starving.
Yeah, starving because we just burned off God knows how many calories, and yeah, so that's just the only thing I could think of that would have been like, okay, this is amazing. Like, I mean, not that it wasn't amazing, but it just been like a nice little touch.
Yeah. But all in all, a very good experience, and the plan is to show you guys the highlights of the wedding next week. And that's all I have.
Yeah.
You're good? Okay, make sure that you guys like and subscribe, and have a magical day.